my bunny hug kind of gives away what part of Canada I'm from. I'm a prairie kid, a particular province prairie kid. And having grown up in that province, with a name that most people don't know how to pronounce, I'm very well acquainted, whether it's from the news or the fact that I've met people who attended residential schools. There are individuals who are my age and slightly younger, because while the residential school system was winding down while I was in school, they still existed, and there was people still attending them. Not the same type of issues as, for example, in the 60s, just before I was born, but they were there, and they existed, and there were still issues. These people were technically in care, still taken from their families, separated from their families. Now, the Pope is coming to visit. He's going to go to 3 separate communities within Canada when he makes a tour at some point. I don't know whether it's this year or next year. I mean, it's a Pope, so it takes some planning and some security and all those things that have to happen. And in the news today, we're hearing lots of reports about former residential school students who want to have an input. They want to have a say in what that apology, how that apology is shaped, and what acknowledgments are made. Well, I have an issue with that. Actually, I have a serious issue with this apology in the first place. But the fact that people want to put words in his mouth here, not his advisors, who were probably writing the thing in the first place. But the reality is that if everybody throws in their 2 cents and throws in a word or two, he won't be done speaking for a couple of years. I know I'm being flippant, and I do not want in any way want to diminish what happened. In any way. But the reality is, if the residential school survivors or anyone here in Canada has any words to input or any, we want to acknowledge this, we want to acknowledge that, if he doesn't already know that already, something's wrong with him and his organization, followed by something's really wrong with our organizations here that are telling him what's wrong here. So I'm pretty confident he already knows. And if we insert these words or these phrases or these acknowledgments, we will not know or have any ability to know whether he's sincere. Because realistically, the amount of sincerity that this apology is going to be delivered is literally going to be an act. Because the apology itself is purely symbolic and at some point may actually just lose its meaning. And if we have any hope of sincerity in his apology to the former residential school residents, those students deserve some form or shape of sincerity in that apology. Which means we need to let the man speak for himself as much as possible. We can spend the next 50, 100 years, I don't know how long, criticizing or critiquing whether the apology is sincere or not. But that's what we do. We're Canadians. We nitpick shit for decades. But putting words in his mouth eliminates any possibility of any sincerity. And removes any possibility of it having any meaning, even symbolic. Because for it to be an apology, it has to come from him.